Welcome to the Holistic Success Show. I'm Dr. Robert Puff.
And I'm Elizabeth Lozano.
Our guest today is going to be talking about the different aspects of holistic health.
We're also going to be watching some clips from Dr. Puff on living a peaceful life.
And one of the questions we'll be answering from you is about the benefits of massage.
And we'll also be talking about how you can heal from journaling. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Today I want to talk about what a peaceful life looks like. Because what happens is this mind is very, very active. And all day long it kind of bounces between two things. It's externally judging the world. It's saying good, bad, all day long, kind of being very judgmental. But it's doing the same to our internal world, saying good, bad. I'm doing this well, I'm doing this poorly. It's just constantly critiquing the external world. That person's ugly, that person's fat, that person's stupid, that person's beautiful. And internally, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm silly. It's just all day long giving commentary, doing good and bad. And what a peaceful life looks like is a very quiet, still life. So what that means is instead of hearing this commentary all day long, what you're hearing is actually nothing. You're just still, and you're being 100% present with what is happening right now. Now, mind you, that is a very difficult place to be at. Most of our minds have been conditioned throughout however old you are to be proactively engaging the world, giving commentary, good, bad, internally, externally. And it's exhausting and it wears you out. But more importantly, it keeps you from the peace that passes all understanding. And that peace is always there. It's always inside of you. But the commentary is like this loud noise. It's like you're in this most beautiful, tranquil garden. But there's blaring music, there's bright lights, there's people screaming. And even though you're in this absolutely tranquil, peaceful place, you can't enjoy it because of all this external and internal influence. So if you quiet it, allow it to be quieter and quieter, not needing to judge, not needing to internally judge, and stop judging your world, and stop judging other people's world, what you find is a natural, beautiful peace transcends, or better yet, rises from what's already been there, and comes to the surface, and you become very peaceful. So this is a tool I'd like to offer to you to help with that. When thoughts arise, and I've talked about this many times, but it's a very important thing to get. When thoughts arise, when you are judging someone else or judging yourself, notice those thoughts. Say, I'm doing that. And you don't critique yourself for that. Don't judge yourself for thinking judgment thoughts. Instead, witness those thoughts, and then just get back to being here, right now. And it's really, instead of meditating, because that's really the goal of meditation, is quieting your mind and being still. It's what I call a meditative life, or a peaceful life, where you are being 100% present. Perhaps you're with your spouse and you're just 100% present with them. Or you're with a friend and you're just 100% present with them. Or eating a meal and you're just totally engrossed and engaged in eating that meal. And life becomes so much more rich, so much more full, and you'll just find a deep peace and a wonderful joy that rises up inside of you. So often, if you've never had chocolate, you may not know what it tastes like, and I can talk till I'm blue in the face what chocolate tastes like until you've had it, and this is kind of like that. You have this wonderful thing inside of you, but many, many years have kept you from experiencing it, and the only thing that keeps you from it is yourself. So if you quiet this mind, what will happen is this peacefulness, this joy will naturally rise up inside of you. But you have to stop letting the commentary flow, be still, and be at peace. Peace.
Our first question this week is from Michael J. from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And he writes in, I've been looking into massage therapist, but don't know if it is worth it. Are there any emotional aspects that massage therapy can help with, or is it purely for physical relaxation?
Well, massage is both. It's wonderful physically, it's wonderful emotionally. It just is so good for you, and I cannot advocate enough for every one of our viewers to really get a massage on a regular basis, perhaps weekly. I know it can be expensive. Even if you go once a month, once every quarter, it's a great way to relax. It gets all the toxins out of your body. It's a great way to just physically relax your body, take care of your body. It's very nurturing. Psychologically, it's giving to yourself, loving yourself. And I just had a birthday, and often what I do on my birthday is I get myself a massage, because it's just it's a really good way of celebrating you. And it's a really good way of giving back to you. And that has emotional implications and physical implications, because if you are taking care of you, your body feels that, your psychic feels that. And when you love your psychic yourself, your psychic will, in a sense, love you back. It's like you give fullness to yourself, and your body gives back fullness to you. You take care of yourself, and your body takes care of you. So I really would encourage all of our viewers to get a massage as often as you can. And there's some great people out there. Some of our viewers are massage therapists, and they are participating in our show. So we'll have guests on talking about all the benefits of massage. But I have been getting massages for years, and I find it a really wonderful way to just take care of yourself, slow down, be still. And some people have even found when they get a massage that emotions come up because they're not used to being touched. It's a great way to just get in touch with your body, know what your body's feeling, and to actually heal. There are people that actually help with therapy, massage therapy, to bring about emotional healing. So it is just one of those slam dunks. Absolutely get a massage. It's great for you. It's wonderful. And I think you should get it pretty often. What about you? What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you. And there's so many different types of massage also. I mean, there's, the typical Swedish massage, which is just kind of basic, kind of all over. There's also deep tissue and sports massage. There's also Reiki, which is energy work. There's all kinds of different stuff. And yes, it definitely helps on an emotional level as well. Think about what happens to your body when you're stressed out. Our body and mind are absolutely connected. Here, a lot of times we think that, my emotions don't affect me physically. And we're here to tell you that they absolutely do. And there's scientific proof of this. And, what happens is when we get stressed out, many times we feel it in our body. We feel it in our shoulders. We feel it in our neck. We get headaches. We tighten our jaw sometimes when we wake up just with all this tension, maybe TMJ or whatever other thing is going on. Maybe it's backache, whatever it is. But massage helps with that tremendously. And when you come out of a massage, you just feel like you're on a cloud, because they've just gotten rid of all that stuff that you were working on. And yes, sometimes you can feel emotional afterwards. I've had it where I've had massages, and afterwards I break down and I feel like I want to cry. And actually, I have a background of massage therapy. I was a massage therapist for many years. And when I was going to school, we did massage like every day, you're getting massaged all the time. And with that, stuff would just start to come out. But I felt so much better afterwards. So we do recommend that you get a massage when you think you will absolutely enjoy it. Thank you so much for your question, and we hope we've answered it. And we really encourage you to go get that massage.
Absolutely.
This week's guest is Heinz Gisel. We're very happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. He's an innovator for systems for preventative health. He also has a web talk radio show, and he is also the author of this book in Foodture We Trust. So welcome. And if you could tell us a little bit about kind of who you are and the work that you do, that would be great.
Okay, I'll be happy to. We have a problem in this country now which everybody knows, because when we watch the news, we see everybody's talking about the healthcare overhaul. And we're not addressing the real issue here, because the real issue is your health starts at the dinner table. And nobody's talking about that. We're just talking about who is paying for what kind of treatment. And so I've spent the past 10 years in trying to get the word out to America that we need to, your health starts at the dinner table and not at the pharmacy.
Very true.
And this is when you look on the street, when you start counting people, you see at least 1 in 3 people is obese. And that's the statistics also. And 2 out of 3 people are overweight or look bad, you think that you could do something for them. And yet, how do you get the point across? How do people understand what they should be doing? Because a lot of people want to do something, but how do they know what they should be doing? So I started off 10 years ago when I'm running mountain marathons. I run almost every mountain in the world you can think of, from Machu Picchu to Mount Fuji to the Matterhorn to Jungfrau. And these are usually 6-hour races. You run 26 miles from sea level to snow level. And I was trying to figure, how can you feed yourself in a way that you make the race without having to pop some capsules after the 5th hour. And I've watched my other fellow runners. They try to pop a capsule of magnesium when they run out of steam, and then they collapse because your system just can't handle that. So I was looking into a formula of nutrition which will get me through a 6-hour race. So I finally found that, and it was so effective, everybody wanted it. And then, of course, what do you think when you have to make a living? You think, well, let's commercialize that, let's sell it. So we tried to sell it here, and we failed. Because you can't put something on the shelf that costs $60 a month when people are wired to look for the cheapest price on the shelf. So if you can buy 1,000 milligram of vitamin C for $1.99, that's what you're buying. And you're not allowed to put any product claims on the label. The FDA doesn't allow you to actually tell you what the product does for you. So all you can do is put in the ingredients, how much of what is in there. And that's what people do. They take the box and look at it, how much of that is in there, and then they compare the price and buy the cheapest. And of course mine wasn't the cheapest. So the people I could explain what it is, they loved it, they liked it, worked very well for them. And the people that needed it the most, they couldn't handle it very well because it had fiber in it. And when you just eat junk food all the time, which is desperately lacking fibers, then people get bloated and so on. And so we had to redesign and redevelop and tweak it. And so I was thinking, number one, how can we sell that so that people understand what they're getting? And number two, not necessarily that order, is how do people know what they need?
Good question.
If you go to the drugstore, to a supplement store, what are you buying? You buy what you think you're buying need. Calcium because the media tells you women need calcium.
Acidophilus, the fish oil.
Right. So whatever you read, whatever is the latest fad, you buy.
That's very
because
true.
That's what they tell you need.
And I've even had where it's like cod liver oil, and then no, don't take cod liver oil because of this, and you're going, wait, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to take?
Right. And so the media feeds us spoon by spoon of what we have to do, and then we go from one extreme to the other. And once we found the latest, now ever since it was on 60 Minutes, everybody's talking about resveratrol.
What is it?
Resveratrol. Now that's the latest anti-aging hype, which is basically grapeseed extract. And so everybody is going on that for a while, and then till the next fad comes along. And the problem is, everything you take in a megadose puts you out of balance. So that means, all the nutrients in your body are fighting for their space. And if you take one supplement and you megadose on that, then all the other supplements are affected by that. All the other nutrients in your body are affected by that. So you get unbalanced.
I wasn't aware of that.
So I was thinking, how can we make people learn what their body needs at that time when which they in their phase in life, and based on their lifestyle. So we started doing blood tests, because everybody's doing blood tests, and then you have they tell you have a vitamin B12 deficiency from your blood test. And so we did that for a while, and soon we realized, well, this is not working.
And why was it not working?
Why is it not working? Because a blood test is a snapshot. First, when you do a blood test, you go before breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So after breakfast, it's going to be different.
Okay.
And in the evening, it's going to be different. And next day, it's going to be different. So every day is different. So how can we take one snapshot and base your life curriculum on that snapshot? It doesn't make sense. And it wouldn't tell you much about the minerals. It wouldn't tell you about the toxins in your body. So it was a totally incomplete system. So we tried hair sample tests, we tried saliva tests, urine tests, you name it. Nothing was conclusive, nothing really worked. And so we tried to add this all together, and it just didn't really work. So we figured what we need to do is we need to look at your cellular function.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see how your body actually works. How do you metabolize food? How do you actually burn fat, or do you burn sugar?
So everybody's different, right?
Yeah, everybody's different. So we figured you have to do a dynamic metabolic test with people to find out how their cells function. And in that way, you find out a lot more than you find out in a blood test.
Now I know that you've in other countries you have these facilities where you do this, and you guys have recently developed one in San Diego. Is that true?
Yeah.
Can you tell us kind of about those and how somebody can get a hold of going to a place like that?
Well,
what the procedure is?
We started, this was not a finite solution, although we have a patent on it, but it's a process that includes a lot of things. It includes, first of all, learning about what is it that you want, what is your medical history, what is your family history, and what is it what you want, what is your goal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Of course, there's no 20 pounds on you to lose.
Thank you.
So
yeah,
but most
here.
people want to lose
Yeah.
lose weight, and nobody wants
But to be healthier, to have energy, or to feel good, or
right, and we don't want
is.
to age. We want to look young forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, the food we eat has a major role in how we look. And then other people, they want to perform better. They want to have more energy. They want to have to stay up longer. The athletes, they want to run faster or win the game, whatever. So everyone is different.
Mm-hmm. So they would then come to you with whatever their goal is.
So the number one thing is we assess what is it that you want, what is it, who you are, what is your history, and then we look at your metabolic profile. We want to know, are you actually burning fat at rest? If you don't burn fat at rest, then you're not healthy. And then we want to see, how do you perform under stress? Our life is not sitting in a lounge chair all day. So we have an active life. So what happens during a day when your heart rate goes from 60 to 180? How do you perform under stress? Do you generate adrenaline? Do you have? Can you get excited and handle it? Does stress become distress because you can't handle it? So that's what we're looking at in the whole profile. Then we look at.
So Heinz, you have a lot of amazing stuff to share. So how can people get a hold of you, or how can they listen to your web talk show?
Well, number one, I have a website which is vitalityconcepts.com.
Okay.
And on there you can learn everything about food and everything related to your health, where your health actually starts and what you can do to maintain your health. This is number one. The book I wrote basically, although it's called In Foodture We Trust, it's a kind of a parody on In God We Trust, which is on the money. And because of all the corruption which created us this great food that we have today, which is all dead, it's a parody, and that's the content of the book, is really for people to understand the connection of how we got into the food misery that we have today and what they can do to get out of it.
And how can people find that book?
Well, it's on Amazon.com, it's Barnes & Noble, it's in bookstores, and So the easiest is to go online and order it.
And can they get the information about where to get assessed physically about their body, about what's going on? Where's the best way for them to find out that?
Yeah, that's on the webpage.
Okay.
Everything is on there.
Perfect.
Then I have a radio show, and the radio show topic is Reclaim Your Health. And there we try to, it's a weekly program where we try to coach people into maintaining their health and preempting illness and disease. Because once you're sick, once you end up at the pharmacy, it's already too late. Have you ever noticed that every supermarket chain also owns a pharmacy chain? And they give you the coupons for the food, but never for the pharmacy. So
it sounds like there's so much more that they can find out by tuning into your show and reading your book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but it's not a one-time event.
Yeah,
you have to listen to it all the time
exactly.
to realize, because we're being duped into all these fads. Just watch, for instance, breakfast cereal ads.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you're eating anything healthy?
No.
Do you think your kids, would you feed that to your kids?
No, I would not.
50% sugar, they get all the sugar they need in one day, they get in a little breakfast bowl. And so we have to learn how to shop.
Mm-hmm.
If we learn how to shop, we learn how to stay healthy.
So it sounds like on your show we could get that. So
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I'd like to talk about how to flow with life and accepting life as it is, even though you're working towards making changes. And I would like to start with an example. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you attend this restaurant, and they have you have some expectations of what you want, but it's a set menu, so they tell you what you're going to have, and they present to you, here's your dish. You say, oh, yum, that's exactly what I wanted. And then you go another time and they bring you a dish. You say, oh, yum, that's exactly what I wanted. And you go another time and they bring you what you want. You say, oh, that's great, I just so much wanted this. And your friends observe this and they say, it seems like every time they give you something, you're always happy about it. And you say, well, this is what they're giving me, and I don't have any choice on the menu, so why not be excited about what life has given me, what this restaurant has given me? And applying that to life, it's really the same thing. You will work at trying to improve your life. You will work at trying to make good things come to your life. But life ultimately will bring what it's going to bring with you, no matter how much effort you put forward. And you do put forth effort. But when life finally says, here's the results of what you put forth, and here's what we're giving you, then you look at that and say, this is the meal I have today, right now. And this isn't going to change by me being upset over it. This isn't going to change by me yelling at it. All it is what I have. So I can be upset, or I can say, wow, this is awesome. Thank you, life. And then you embrace that food and you enjoy that food. Or you embrace your life and you enjoy that life. Perhaps you wanted to go to college and you never did. And right now you're working in a job that, is kind of mundane. So you say, well, how can I, if this is what life has given me, there are people there maybe I can connect more with. There's people that I work with that I could engage with and get to know them better. I could really celebrate that which I have, because there are people out there that don't have jobs. There's always a way of looking at what you have and seeing it as beautiful, seeing it as wonderful. And if you go with life, ultimately what that means is it's truly, even though you are working towards changing things, you're working towards setting boundaries, but ultimately when you are 100% present with the here and now, after you've done all those things, whatever life presents you is what it has presented. And it's kind of silly to be upset over something if that's what's there, because then what you're doing, you're missing out on life. Because you're concerned about the future, or you're worried about the past, or you're worried about the past and you're concerned about the future. You kind of don't ever live in the here and now. And life is constantly a beautiful banquet with wonderful things that is given you, even though there's hard parts to it. But there's always wonderful things that's given you. And what you do is you celebrate those things that are given to you, being present with what is, and ultimately loving what is. Because what is your life. And if you learn to embrace your life with improvement, but really learning to each and every day, each and every hour, and perhaps each and every moment saying, I'm going to celebrate my life. You put that together day after day, year after year, you create what I call a beautiful life. And there are people on the planet that are living that way right now. And they have suffering and they have tragedy, but they have learned to embrace life. They've learned that there's always something beautiful to be with in life. So choose that life. Choose that life of course, making changes. But once life has presented you its meal, once you have before you your spouse, your kids, your job, and you've done what you could to make it the best that you can, then really enjoy what life has given you and love it, because that is the life you have. And if you do that a little bit every day, over the course of time, what you'll find is you will end up having an absolutely beautiful life. And anyone in the world can have a beautiful, wonderful life. Peace.
Our second question this week is from Gladys M., and she is from Queens, New York. Sometimes I feel so lost in life because my parents are busy at work and I have not been doing well in school. I just get so depressed. My sister told me about journaling or having a diary, but that seems so childish to me. Does having a journal really help?
Yes, just yes. But there's a thing to be aware of. What journaling is a way for you to get in touch with your feelings and express them. And it's very good to express them. If you swallow poison, your body's going to react by throwing up or getting diarrhea to get that poison out of you. When you have emotional pain inside of you, the exact same thing's going to happen. You need to get it out of your system, or it will get infected, it will grow, and it will be very bad for you. So what journaling does, journaling is a tool for emotional, basically vomiting, to getting those emotions out of your system. Now there are many ways of doing that. Journaling is one aspect. So for some of you that are watching right now, you say, journaling doesn't work for me. I think it's important to find your voice and seeing if journaling works for you. But for most people, it can be a fabulous way because it's yours, it's private, you can just say whatever you want, you can doodle, you can scribble, you can just really express yourself very openly. I think it's important to really use that journal on a regular basis as a catharsis. I mean, with my clients over the years, there have been countless clients that I've worked with that have used journaling as part of their healing process, and you too may use it on a regular basis. But be aware, if it doesn't work for you, there are many other aspects of healing that we talk about and we'll continue to talk about on this show. So keep watching, but learn that journaling is a fabulous way of getting well. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with you, and I think that that's important to find what's the best thing for you. But with journaling, I encourage you to try it and see kind of what comes out. Sometimes you might find maybe you just need to scribble some bad words because you're so angry, or just literally like stabbing the paper or whatever kind of comes out for you. And I've done all of those things, believe me. I can recommend an art journal, so you're just putting colors down to your feelings. So whatever it is that you do, there's many different ways, and sometimes we can be a little fearful about what if somebody reads what I'm writing and it's really dark, it's really kind of negative, and it's okay to have those feelings. It's absolutely all right. But what you could do if you're afraid of that, rip it up, or if it, whatever you need to do, rip it up, put it through the shredder. Sometimes though, the energy of ripping it up feels kind of good, and toss it out so you make sure nobody sees it. So it's a beautiful way of letting it go as well. You're just letting it go. So it's just a great way to process your feelings. And I've even found myself, and also through some of my clients, it's a good way to process what's going on. Maybe you start off, you're really upset with somebody or about a situation and you don't know what to do. And by the end of the thing, you figured it out. Oh, well, okay, whatever's going on, okay, now maybe I could do this. You've kind of talked yourself through it. It sounds kind of funny, but putting it out there really makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for your question. We really encourage you to go ahead and try this, see how it works for you. And if it doesn't work, just keep looking until you find the right tool or tools for yourself to just really channel and work through all those issues. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
This week's quote is by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Every day, think as you wake up. Today, I am fortunate to have woken up. I am alive. I have a precious human life. I am not going to waste it. I'm going to use all of my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others for the benefit of all beings. There are so many things in this life to be grateful for, and I encourage you to share that with those around you and help others too. It helps to bring light into your life as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on the Holistic Success Show. But don't forget, we can't do it without you. Please write to us with your questions so we can talk about them on the show. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our website yet, please do so we can share with you what our upcoming guests will be talking about, as well as all the other things that we're doing. And you'll get 10% off of anything that you order on the bookstore.
And if you haven't visited our bookstore, please do, because that has a variety of books, CDs, and DVDs for your pleasure and to help you grow and be holistically healthy.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week.